right, let's get right into it. Today, we're unpacking the anatomy of a true global icon, Kim Taehyung. And what we're really exploring here is this absolutely fascinating paradox at the very heart of modern fame. We're getting a literal masterclass in how one of the biggest, most recognizable megastars on the planet manages to somehow bypass all those traditional walls of celebrity. You know, he just manages to feel incredibly grounded, deeply human, and genuinely connected to everyone around him. So we're going to trace the exact steps, the little quirks, and the interactions that build this totally unique persona.
Let's dive right in with, well, de puta madre. Seriously, picture the scene. You're in Mexico, the crowd is absolutely deafening, and instead of giving some carefully rehearsed, PR-approved greeting, Taehyung just casually drops this wildly enthusiastic, completely spontaneous Spanish phrase. I mean, the crowd absolutely lost their minds. And the thing is, it wasn't just an act for the cameras. In another instance, he literally just jumped online to rave about how good the pizza was at this local Stanford spot. And boom, a massive surge in attention for the business.
So that brings us right to the central question framing our entire explainer today. How on earth does one of the biggest stars on the planet still feel like your next-door neighbor? This isn't just a happy accident, right? It's actually a profound character study in radical authenticity. Because in an industry that is literally defined by polished perfection, Taehyung's true superpower might honestly just be his unapologetic humanity.
To really understand this, we have to look at the stark contrast in his life. On one hand, you've got the global superstar. This is the untouchable idol who just announced BTS's fifth album, Arirang, looking completely fierce in limited edition picture disc vinyls, rocking this incredible leather jacket, leather pants, a shirt, and a tie. But then, on the exact same hand, really, you have the local boy. This is the guy who spends his downtime eating banderillas at local food stalls and just randomly picking up everyday hobbies like pickleball. The contrast is completely wild, yet he somehow inhabits both of these worlds effortlessly.
Take the whole concept of Team Tiger, for instance. You might look at that incredibly eccentric leopard print outfit for the new album and think, okay, yeah, that's just some really high-end fashion styling. Actually, scratch that. It's rooted in this hilarious, super adorable childhood detail. As the Army well knows, Taehyung's parents used to push him around in a literal leopard print stroller. He has literally been Team Tiger since day one. It's exactly this kind of quirky, super personal history that makes his superstar image so incredibly endearing to us. And this beautifully translates into how he actually navigates the world when he's on tour. Let's go back to his time in Mexico. He spots a local food stall during an idol parade, casually walks up, orders a banderilla and a couple of drinks. And then, okay, this is honestly the best part, he literally skips back to show his corn dog to the rest of the BTS members. Their reactions were absolutely priceless. But you know what's even more touching? When his team tried to pay for it, the stall owners and the fans completely refused. They insisted the food was a gift, quote, from Mexico to Taehyung.
All right, moving right along to breaking the language barrier. Let's look at exactly how he connects directly with people, really soul to soul.
So his Japanese is so incredibly fluent and natural that fans have affectionately nicknamed Japan Thailand. He even stepped in to act as Jungkook's Japanese interpreter during a show once. Then, of course, you have his super confident Spanish, like spotting a fan's glowing hat in Mexico and enthusiastically shouting out, "Mucho picante!" And we cannot forget his adorable, high-energy English in the States, just screaming, "This is Vegas, baby," right into the mic. The crucial takeaway here, it's his sheer willingness to try, to occasionally make mistakes, and to proudly use that deep voice to connect directly with the Army worldwide. But, you know, it's not all just hype and stadium chants. Take this really heartfelt greeting. Happy Mother's Day, Mother Maria. He actively took the time to learn and deliver this beautifully touching, sincere Spanish phrase. It was so unexpected and so genuine that the video quickly went viral all across Mexico. It even got featured on popular Mexican entertainment shows. That just shows a level of cultural appreciation that goes way, way beyond your standard celebrity etiquette. And that brings us to a really defining trait. Taehyung is basically the ultimate social butterfly. It's this innate, natural ability to bring a warm energy and an effortless connection to basically everyone around him. He just has this incredibly positive, comforting vibe that simply draws people in, totally regardless of what their role is in his life or his career. Just notice how consistent his interaction style is across the board. With armies, he's super warm and spontaneous, like casually toasting drinks with them during the parade. But then with the staff, he is just incredibly polite. There's this famous moment of him driving a golf cart backstage, And he's just constantly bowing and apologizing whenever he felt like he was even slightly in someone's way. And with his dancers, he's so encouraging and fun. He's always giving them pats on the back before a show, or even playfully dancing with the cameraman. He treats the people behind the scenes with the exact same warmth as the fans in the absolute front row.
And this deep loyalty extends way beyond the concert arena. I mean, he recently dropped into his longtime friend Park Bo-gum's birthday livestream and practically spammed the chat with sweet, affectionate comments, just reminding fans of their enduring brotherhood. He also recently reunited with his old gym trainer from way back in 2020, bodybuilder Choi Hanjin. Oh, and he's basically been on this epic local food tour, exploring spots like the famous Nagahama Manketsu ramen restaurant down in Busan. It just goes to show he never ever forgets his roots or the people who helped him along the way.
Which perfectly sets up the absolute core of his world, the BTS brotherhood above all. Offstage, these guys hang out constantly. Whether it's braving those intense wasabi bombs at Wagi Mafia in Japan with RM, Jin, and J-Hope, or picking up paddles to play these wildly intense pickleball matches, Taehyung and Jungkook teaming up to battle Namjoon and Hobi. And naturally, that totally playful energy spills right onto the stage. Think about Jungkook giving Taehyung a piggyback ride during a body-to-body intro, or Jin and Jungkook's endless chaotic antics. Sure, they are global superstars, yes, but mostly, they're just a bunch of brothers having a great time. Now, this group dynamic is also deeply symbolic for the fans. Consider RM's Merry-Go-Round music video teaser. The video, which is inspired by the repetitive days of military life, shows RM walking toward the other members. Fans immediately contrasted this with past imagery, remembering times when RM kind of isolated himself because he just needed time alone, but he always came back to the group. And now, the members are waiting there to welcome him back. It's such a beautiful, emotional companion to the whole message of their song, Spring Day. After every long winter, spring finally arrives, and they're all together again. And while we're on the subject of the members making waves, we definitely have to mention some recent pop culture buzz. Fans eagle-eyed that Zayn Malik's team recently started following Jungkook on Instagram, which obviously sparked massive rumors of a total dream collaboration. It's a crazy reminder of their sheer global power. Yet, it's so funny to contrast that massive superstar rumor with a recently resurfaced story about Jungkook back in school. Apparently, he used to hide his pretty eyes behind really long bangs, literally spending an hour in front of the mirror just to keep them covered up because he was so incredibly shy. No way, right? All right, that takes us to our final section for today, the power of small details. The absolute crucial point here is his radical sweetness. Let's just slow down for a second and look at this one highly specific moment from the Busan concert. Mid-performance, amidst all the crazy energy, he spots a plushie of his beloved dog, Yeontan, way out in the massive crowd. He actually stops, runs over, and asks the fan to hold it. And after holding it, he doesn't just casually toss it back to them. He gently hands it over and literally bows respectfully to the fan. It is just a stunning display of gentle humanity right in the middle of absolute chaos. And the thing is, these moments are everywhere. Doing this totally adorable belly button bow during a bright sunny soundcheck. Casually throwing on a Bad Bunny track and just vibing and singing along in the background while Suga is desperately trying to host a live stream. Or even just pausing during a totally hectic parade just to greet a waving kid in the crowd with his signature scrunched nose smile. These highly specific, seemingly insignificant little quirks, they actually form the very bedrock of why fans globally adore him so much. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer, and a question I really want to leave you with. In an era of totally manufactured perfection, is radical authenticity actually the ultimate superpower? What we've looked at today proves that true global dominance isn't just about having flawless choreography or breaking vinyl sales records. It is about a deeply grounded, totally authentic humanity. It's about being the absolute global megastar who never, ever forgets how to be the local boy. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive.